Two, one. Hello, guys. Hello, CMST 2061. My name is Nicholas Reese, and today I'm taking the time to meet with Jalen. Today we're gonna, discuss Jalen's previous work experience and his insights. And Jalen, I'd just like to establish a comfortable conversation where we can both, be open and honest. Please feel free to answer in your own words and on your own timing. And let me know if you need any clarification on any question. And then lastly, just to give you some orientation today, I'll just be asking you a couple questions about your background, your skills, and your experience working in teams and solving problems. So let's get right into it. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, so my name is Jalen Pruitt. I'm currently a junior here at LSU, majoring in psychology on the pre-medical track. Some previous experience that I have so far, and actually pretty current, is I'm blessed enough to be an intern at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, working in pediatrics and adolescent medicine. So with that department, I'm able to see and understand kids and children's kind of mental health aspects, what they're currently dealing with at the time, as far as things like that, or expose them to different opportunities and resources that they have to get the help that they need.
Yeah, great. That sounds great. And I would like to first ask you. My first question to you would just be, Jalen, if you could just tell me a little bit more about yourself and what experiences have helped shape your career goals.
So a little bit about myself. I would consider myself a person that's like to take the initiative. Um, Person that's like to create opportunity even when there isn't currently room for opportunity. And so I'm sorry, what was the second part of the question? I forgot.
And just how has as you tell me a little bit about yourself, just how have your experiences just shaped your career goals?
Okay, gotcha. So my experiences have also shaped my career goals because it's one giving me insight into um, what exactly I want to do, especially in the realm of medicine.
Hmm.
It's giving me a better picture of like the different types of opportunities that comes with being a physician, whether
Right.
you go into a clinical setting or
Right.
like if you could work in the main hospital.
Hmm.
So the experience that I've gained so far with volunteering and shadowing and my
Right.
internship at the Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital have just really opened my eyes and given me a greater insight to what's out there.
Great. Great. That definitely sounds really exciting and informative. And I would also my second question to you would be just why do you want to work for our organization, and what excites you most about this opportunity?
So working for y'all's organization specifically, I think this is a great and exciting new way to get involved, hands on into the community. I feel like I'm excited because it's a new and emerging opportunity. It's something that I feel that our community needs,
Hmm.
especially being able to tap in directly with the community and meet them halfway where they're at. So I'm excited to become a part of that. And like I mentioned earlier, like I'm a person that takes initiative.
Right.
So even though this may be a new emerging opportunity, I'm excited to get involved and help in any way I can and take on any position that I can.
That's great. We're definitely looking for people who can take initiative and who are ready to work hard, and execute well at the company. So my third question for you would, proceeding into that, my third question would be just for your life, for your goals, for your ambitions. Just Jalen, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, and just how does this role specifically, how does that contribute to that? How does it help you get there?
In the next 5 years, specifically with this company, I see myself in a higher leadership role here. But not only just myself, but I also believe in expanding our impact in the community. I pray that we've like grown as an organization and
Mm.
had a larger impact and presence in our community as far as expanding our resources that we offer as a company, but also expanding our leadership team. I think that as we're building the next 5 years, it's important to make sure that it doesn't become a one person job, but it just ensures that the team grows
Right.
over the course of 5 years, because I truly believe that's how we could grow our impact, is if our in-house teams grow as well. So
I 100% agree. We're definitely looking for people who want to not only want to be here, but want to contribute, want to execute. People who want to, like I said, have high leadership roles and see themselves really committing themselves and devoting themselves to the company. So no, that's definitely a great response that I'm looking for as well. I would like to ask you my next question of what do you consider your biggest strengths and how will they help you succeed in this role in this position at our company?
I would consider one of my biggest strengths are, as mentioned earlier, taking initiative, but also being open-minded and a listener. I feel that, especially something I've learned going throughout college, is you don't always know the right answer, and listening to other people can help you, one, learn more information, learn about something that you may not have knew about before,
Right.
but also be able to compromise and understand other people's perspective. Because if you just stick with a decision that's based off your own knowledge or your own experiences, how will you learn the best solution to help the community? Because it's
Right.
not just at the end of the day. So I think that's a skill that I've acquired over time, and that I feel like I've done a great job presenting in my leadership skills.
Great. Great. No, great. Um, so can you give me an example of a situation where you had to communicate complex information in a simple way and clear in a simple and clear way?
Yes. So actually, my previous program, I was the responsibility of a chair for one of the committees, and getting information out in a timely manner to the rest of the committee was something that's very important and happened pretty often. But for one of our biggest fundraisers, we also had short notice of it,
All right.
but it was a lot of complex details about making sure like how we collect receipts to verify that you know items were paid for, to make sure that we ensured that we collect funds and received a certain percentage.
Right.
So all the information was kind of complex to just send in a general message. But what helped me as the chair was to break it up into tasks for
Good.
specific people so that they can focus, each person can focus on what they need to do, but also everything got done that needed to be done to complete the task that was at hand.
Great. And would you say that you taking that initiative in that position has really helped transform your career skills today?
Yes, I definitely would say that has helped transform my career skills because it's allowed me to one like know when I'm needed to step up, but also know when I like need to step back. I feel like
Right.
one of the most important things in leadership is that the people that which you lead, their voices should sometimes be louder than your own. Like you
Right.
shouldn't just always be dictating everything that
For
goes
sure.
on, but more of like kind of mending the pieces together and putting everybody's thoughts and opinions together.
That's a great response. Um, so for my next question, just tell me a little bit about just a time where you had to work as part of a team and like what was the challenging goal y'all were trying to achieve and just what role did you play into that?
Um, One time I had to work in kind of like a bigger group setting
Yeah.
with another one of our organizations here on campus about a certain event that we had. And with that, one of the challenges that we overfaced, since it was our first event back on campus,
Right.
a lot of overthinking took place and planning it and overthinking about the outcome and trying not to overestimate but also underestimate our planning for the amount of people that we were expecting to show up.
Right.
And kind of the role I played in that overthinking process was just reassuring like the rest of our community, like we've worked so hard to plan and prepare for the event that either way we have the resources, we have the manpower to prepare for the best outcome, which is
Right.
what we're prepared for the whole time. So it doesn't matter about the numbers of who show up and if there's going to be too many people. We have the manpower to control whatever we need to control with the event, and it ended up being a success. So overthinking definitely took place a lot in the earlier stages of planning, but once we got to the actual event, put it on, it was smooth sailing.
Great. How do you typically prioritize your tasks when managing multiple projects with tight deadlines?
Good way that I manage my tasks is in my notes app. I have a to-do list
Great.
that I update daily.
Right.
Um, that includes strictly my to-do list just considers assignments and like upcoming exams or like study sessions that I need to attend. But on my calendar, um, that's attached to my like phone and also my iPad is where I have like important dates for like meetings or sessions.
Right.
So I continually update that weekly, and then the to-do list, like I said, I update that on a daily basis.
Great. Yeah, no, that's great. I'm glad to just we always want somebody who's on top of everything and meeting deadlines or just getting things done before deadlines as well. So that's very important. I'd like to ask you, just can you just describe a time where you use any specific programs, specific like Excel or just anything like that, PowerPoint, just anything to solve problems or provide insight to any type of project you were committing to?
Yes. So a recent PowerPoint that I created was for a health summit. It was a three keys to health workshop, understanding more of like the social, physical, and mental health aspects. And as a co-chair of that organization, I was able to create that PowerPoint to present to our guests, but also have for our panelists who are also physicians, so they can understand, get a better insight of what our idea was for the program, but also be able to like answer the questions and
Right.
um, the whole concept of the organization.
Okay. Great, great, great. And just two more questions, Jalen, that I have. The second to last one would just be if you could just describe a time where you had faced some conflict with either a colleague or a teammate. How did you go about that, and how did you handle that, and how did y'all resolve the situation or come to a, agreement?
A conflict that I had with a team member was actually a team member who I consider a friend before we actually joined the team together. And it was over kind of more of a scheduling conflict, and just make sure that we were both on our task. And in addressing that, I made sure that I didn't do it in any embarrassing way or like any way of public humiliation.
Right.
Because I feel that when you're in a workspace, like especially if it's someone you know, or even if you don't know them, you should always address them for one to address the conflict, but
Right.
make sure you do it in a manner that it's not in a form of like public people humiliation, so they don't feel like targeted or left out.
Right.
So what I simply did was just pull them to the side to have a one-on-one conversation about the issue. We both had an agreement and reached a compromise, and we were able to move forward with the project.
Great. And then my last question, Jalen, would just be if you could tell me about an experience you had where you just had to adapt quickly on the fly to a change or unexpected challenge in a project.
A time I have to adapt quickly. For one organization I'm a part of, we needed a quick icebreaker for an event, and especially the icebreakers are important because it kind of sets the mood, sets the tone for an event. But like that's something that that particular committee just simply slipped up and forgot to include in their planning. So on the fly, I thought about a good name game activity, just kind of get people at their tables to go around, one, introduce themselves, but also be tasked with trying to remember everyone that they encountered at their table.
Right.
So it's just a fun, easy way to, one, get people talking, but also to have a level of value and importance as you're trying to remember someone at a particular networking event.
Okay. Great. Well, Jalen, thank you for your time today. That concludes my questions for today, and thank you for sharing your experiences with me. Like I said, thank you for just allowing me to discuss your background with you, your teamwork, your problem solving skills, and how you've adapted, to many of these challenges. These insights really help me have a clear picture overall of just your skills and your talents and your strengths. And like I said, I really appreciate your time today. I'll review my notes carefully and follow up with you about the next steps for this position and for this role. And just thank you again for your time today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
No problem. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Of course. No problem.